Welcome into another episode of a one-man show. Before we get into this video, guys, it would mean the world to me if you guys could drop a like and a comment to show your support for the show. Now let's get into the episode.
You know, Logan was doing it selfie style for the longest time, but when I came in, we turned it into a full-fledged TV show.
We could blame it on another bad season.
Welcome into the podcast, another episode of a one-man show. Got a little bit cooler of a setup this week, and we have our first guest, Brendan North.
Happy to be here.
Pearson has moved over to Adelia's seat. Adelia is off crying because she's not on the episode.
Oh, yeah. I'll just sit here.
How's it feel to be over there? Is it weird?
No, it's actually kind of fun. I feel like I'm in the God position just staring at both of you. Like,
Yeah. It's
yes, my children.
intimidation level 1000. But for those of you guys that are unfamiliar with who Brendan is, so I was Logan Paul's videographer, and then you replaced me, and then you quit.
Yep.
Talk about that. How did you land that job?
He's been through a few of them now.
Yeah, like Logan cycled through some videographers. Probably more videographers than he does girls, to be honest.
How did I get the job?
Yeah, because so you were the daily vlog filmer, which fucking that sucks, bro. I'm sorry.
Dude, it's a heavy job.
Yeah.
But basically, when I moved to LA, I started doing the whole photography thing. And actually, I was driving for Lyft. That was like my first job in LA. And trying to take photos on the side, you know, make as much money as I could from that.
Right.
And then I started getting into the social media world, shooting with different smaller, you know, influencers. And then one of my first big breaks was actually just ending up at the team, like the original Team 10 house. Jake wasn't there, but Alyssa Violet was. And I talked to her and I told her, you know, I'm a photographer, we should shoot. And I got access to this guy who had a helicopter. And that was like my in to Alyssa, at least. I was like, I'll take you up in a helicopter. We'll do a photo shoot.
Right.
And she brought Jake. And then Jake started having me shoot like a bunch of Team 10 people. Eventually I met George at a party.
Oh, this was after them then?
Yeah.
Because I remember we met at a party and I was fucking wasted, bro.
I met you and George at different parties.
Yeah,
and both of you were
like,
wasted.
oh, I just moved here. Like, I'm doing photography. And I'm like sitting there. I'm like, bro, it's fucking 2:30 in the morning. I'm litty as a titty.
No, but I knew who all of you guys were at that point, and I knew that I wanted to be involved.
Why'd you move to LA? Because you're from Massachusetts.
Photography doesn't exist as a career in the same way that it does in LA. Like, this is the place you got to be if you really want to make it, at least to start a career.
Take that leap? Because a lot of people are afraid to take that first risk.
It's one of those all or nothing moments. A lot of people, they don't have the balls to pull the trigger. And if you don't do it, like when you're not ready, you'll never actually be ready. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but how did you save up money? Did you go to college? Because
so I went to college first, graduated, and then as soon as I finished, I moved out here. I was couch surfing.
Classic. We've all been there.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I spent a week. This is something that I haven't like told anybody.
You're hearing it here first on the One Man Show.
So like, subscribe, hit those bell for notifications.
Like, my parents don't know this.
Oh, fuck. All right.
Like in between, like, dude, I hate asking people for stuff. And, you know, asking people that I barely know to sleep in, you know, their apartment, like barely know. Before I got my first actual place by myself, or at least even with a roommate, I spent a week sleeping on the lifeguard stands in Venice.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why'd you pick the lifeguard stands?
I would sleep on the top of them because nobody knew I was there. And I just knew that I wouldn't get bothered. Really? It just felt safe. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so you call it functionally homeless.
I called it functionally homeless. I lived in my car, showered at the gym.
Yeah. I always had an option though. And it was just like pride, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, so.
How do you guys approach people to be like, hey, can I sleep on your couch when you barely know them? You're like, hey, I'll do your dishes in the morning.
That's not a lot. I did a lot more than that.
Yeah, you just, you know, say you can pay them back in whatever way. I'll take.
I didn't say that.
Okay,
I was kidding, bro. I mean,
I'll take
for
me that means like I'll take headshots for you.
Yeah.
I'll provide, you know, whatever photography services.
Yeah, that's interesting because I feel like George brought you in more.
So that was like the big one.
Yeah,
that was the big one because he was the first consistent connection that I had in the social media realm, George was bringing me around every single day. I was making videos with him, taking all of his Instagram photos. And from that, it turned into, shooting with you,
right?
Shooting with a bunch of the other people in that world. Right. I started shooting with like Lele, Twan, Wampa, like that whole squad as well.
Yeah. I mean, I just looked at your Instagram, and you've come a long way too in like your artistic direction and stuff.
Dude, I had no idea what I was doing back then.
But
I don't know why you guys let me take your photos.
The thing about you is you were like a quick learner, because like I remember seeing you all the time, like vlogging, like filming the vlogs and stuff, and you were really on it, bro. Like you knew exactly how to frame shit and how quick to go. And I don't know if like Logan directed you on that, but it was like I think you picked up quick. That's
one of those natural things. Like when I first picked up a camera, that was like automatic for me.
Right. So that's the most important thing. Like a lot of people don't understand, when all these guys have videographers, how important that position is in capturing the moment in the right way. It's like it goes like to watching him. It's a movie every time. It's like, when do I do a close? When do I do a punch in? When do I do a wide?
Dude, that was the biggest thing that, Logan was doing it selfie style for the longest time. For his first, 150 episodes of his daily vlogs. Right. Might have even been more than that. But when I came in, we turned it into a full-fledged TV show.
Right.
There were characters, there were storylines, plots. There was an actual cameraman, multiple angles, all of it. So.
Why'd you go from a single-handed vlog into a TV show? What was the reasoning behind that?
Logan wanted to elevate. That was his whole thing. He wanted to be the person that took vlogging past the selfie cam.
Was it difficult at first, or did the transition happen smoothly?
We had, a decent amount of miscommunications. Yeah. Which was on both ends.
Sorry, when you're talking to him, just make sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There were a decent amount of miscommunications, but we started to sort of mesh and get the hang of it, and then it turned into sort of that well-oiled machine that you're after. But
how do you get on the same page? Because I know a lot of times, even me, when I'm so focused, and I'm sure Logan's the same, when I have a vision in my head, I expect you to know what's in my head, but you don't, obviously.
Yeah. So eventually,
yeah.
Yeah.
But there are those miscommunications, and me at times, I can be a fucking asshole when I'm like,
dude, yeah.
No comment.
It was never like downright like mean. It was always just like
blunt.
Sheer disappointment, and the way he would go about it was just like very blunt.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
There were times that I fucked up.
Yeah.
Like I messed up. And
what does that look like? I want to know what this bluntness looks like, because you both have your own experiences, but it sounds shared.
I mean, dude, it
sounds shared.
everyone that I've worked for has a vision and wants to be the best at what they do. They have the same mentality.
Yeah. Dude, I see it in you sometimes.
100%.
Like absolutely. Yeah. And it's just, you have expectations.
Yeah.
And when they aren't met, then you tell that person that they fucked up.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to swear on this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. Don't say fucking shit on this show.
No, I know.
I'll censor myself if I have to.
And it could be taken as you're an asshole, but it's just a certain way that I've realized that people deliver in terms of business.
Right.
Because Logan's very good at being the asshole when he has to be during work. But then once you stop filming, he's chill. Like nothing happened.
Absolutely.
But then it can sit on you, and it can weigh on you a little bit personally. You're like, damn, bro, you're a dick to me. And he's like, oh, bro, it's just like how I direct.
Right.
So it's like to be able to shift, and we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
The balance of a roommate, work, friend.
Yeah. Eventually, I was only ever upset like the first times, but eventually I started to learn that that's just normal.
Right.
I didn't take it personally after that. I just took it as part of the job. And I also screwed up less and less.
Right. So you worked for him for 9 months during the daily vlog, which we just talked about, which seems like you were there for way fucking longer. That's like 270 videos.
Yeah.
What ultimately, why did you decide, hey, I don't want to do this anymore? Because you quit, you walked away, and he just bought his brand new house.
I lived in the house from October to March. Okay. So I was there for longer than people think. I was there for like 5 months in that house. Before that, I was living in my own apartment, walking to his place at the W every day. But yeah, I don't know. People think, oh, like, you were in that house for 2 weeks. I was there for 5 months. And the reason I finally left was just freedom. I didn't move to Los Angeles to work for somebody else. And that's really what it came down to. It was the daily vlogs were 24/7, making stuff for somebody else, and no freedom to have my own creativity. And I was just losing my mind, like not being able to go out and sort of bring these ideas in my head to life on my own time. So parted ways. And he understood that. Like when I broke it down in that way for him, he totally, you know, got where I was coming from, because he didn't come to LA to do that either.
Right.
You know, he came to make a life for himself, for his own creativity.
As we all have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part about being in the YouTube space and working for a YouTuber is there are no hours. Like that was the one thing that frustrated the fuck out of me working for him back in the day was, you know, he would be like, hey, we're shooting this then. Okay, like 8 a.m. Cool. And then 10 a.m. rolls around, we haven't shot it yet. And it's like, okay, I just wasted 2 hours of my day. And then, okay, and then we end up shooting it at noon. So I could have done something for 4 hours in the morning, but I was booked, so I couldn't. So I had to cancel all my plans. So what you, basically, I feel like you felt the same way, is you weren't living your life, you were living Logan's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even though, you know, I mean, I had a lot of incredible experiences because of that job.
Yeah, dude.
When you're watching all of these things happen through a camera, it doesn't really feel like you're living them.
Yeah.
I barely remember one of the most incredible trips of my life to Kauai with them, because the whole time I wake up, I pick up my camera, and then
like you don't get to enjoy it.
No, because I have to be finger on the trigger. Yeah. Because if I miss a moment, you know, then we can't redo it.
Right.
I mean, we tried a couple times, but bad acting.
Yeah, like I don't know. How would you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like to me, I've been here for 10 years, so I've been here for a hot minute, and to me, a lot of times, like that part gets very blurred. Like I've been to a lot of countries, and I don't know a lot of the countries. I've only been out of the hotel and on set. Yep. But a lot of times, I've come to the conclusion that it's just part of the job. Like it's tough and it sucks, but this is what we sign up for. It's kind of like fucking boot camp. You know?
Absolutely. I mean,
I was the same. Like when I was daily vlogging, I've talked about this a lot. I look back at these vlogs and I don't remember. Yeah.
It is not good for your mental health to live your life for a camera. It's just not healthy.
Like I genuinely like don't remember a lot of my relationship. Yeah. And I watch these videos and I'm like, dude, I literally, this has left my memory.
I believe that.
And it's a really, really weird thing. Did you ever get frustrated that you weren't, I know, like, did you ever get frustrated that you weren't really given credit? You were never like brought up in the videos. You were just like there, like ego.
No, that didn't matter to me. You know, I wanted people to find me on Instagram through that. Right. And, you know, even just Logan taking the camera from me and turning it around on my face was like so much more exposure than I ever thought I was going to get in my life. Right. Just little things like that, you know, that was all I really
Was it hard for you because obviously you have a really steady job with Logan. You're getting paid more money than you've ever made, to walk away from that to go do what you're doing now? Was that there was a weird transition period for sure. Walking away from like security to complete uncertainty. But I think that goes back into what we said earlier, where, you know, taking that leap of faith, you know, you have to walk all the way to the edge of your fears and then just jump, or else it's never going to happen.
How was that transition?
Slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause when I left, I thought I knew what I wanted to do. And it took me a good 6 months to really grasp what it meant to be a photographer again and make a living as a photographer. Because you have to start taking money from all these different jobs, sections, you know, and it's not just one solid income stream that you can expect every week.
Yeah. It's time to start eating off the dollar menu again.
For a little while, yeah.
Yeah.
But it absolutely, I mean, it paid off tenfold. Like I'm making more than I've ever made in my life right now, just from selling selling prints of my own photos.
That's awesome. How do you start that business? Because I mean, I saw you posted Art is Dead. That was one of your like projects. Yeah. And it's tough because with Instagram and YouTube, people want to consume they think that everyone should do their shit for free. Like
Yeah.
Brendan North should show me his photos for free. Mark should make his videos for free because
Right.
that's how it's always been.
Right.
How do you make how do you get people to buy your photos when they could just go on Instagram?
Dude, it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time and a lot of rebranding. I have to sort of sell myself differently than these other Instagram photographers. You know, there are guys that make incredible Instagram content, but you could never picture their image up on a wall.
Yeah.
You know, it just looks
I'll
silly.
just double tap it because the booty's good.
Exactly.
Hey,
No, that's-
working
and-
that cake that the mama gave him.
And that's what a lot of Instagram photography, unfortunately, has turned into.
I mean, the
is
whole
just-
fucking the internet is just sex sells, bro.
dude,
Right.
TikTok.
I could go off.
Yeah.
I've gone off.
I know.
We dedicated an entire podcast to that.
I saw some of that. I saw some of that. But sort of marketing myself differently, selling myself as, you know, a fine art photographer. I have to make it look, I mean, at this point, I really do consider myself to be on a different level compared to a lot of those Instagram photographers.
You have to.
My entire process is different. I shoot things in a much different way than a lot of those guys.
Yeah, let's talk about that because film is like it
Yeah.
got brought back.
Yeah,
More
it's having a
recently.
renaissance.
Yeah, it was a dying thing when all the digital shit turned around.
Yeah.
And now it's coming back, but it's obviously way more expensive. And I would
Yep.
say it's more like the fact that you do film and have prints is way more hipster and like elegant rather than, you know.
It's traditional.
Yeah. How did you make that decision and why are you so passionate about it? Because I've never seen someone get a bigger boner off of film and Hasselblad cameras than Brendan North.
That's hilarious.
So I was actually lucky enough towards the end of 2018 to meet this really famous fine art photographer, Tyler Shields. If you've ever seen any of his work,
You've
have
seen
you ever heard of him? You know him?
Yeah. He's big in the film industry.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he's big in like the celebrity photography world. He did a lot of that stuff for a while, and he actually DM'd me one day, just out of the blue. He wanted to make a small documentary on how social media has changed photography, and one of his friends told him to check me out because I was one of the bigger social media photographers at the time. And the day that he looked at my Instagram, I had a story up where I was holding my first print. And he hit me up and he was like, if you weren't holding that print, I wasn't going to message you. Like, I probably wouldn't have said anything. And he's walked me through like the whole process of going into film, going into prints. So I've been really lucky to have him.
Why
And
did he take on that role of mentorship? Because Pearson has a lot of mentors out here. I would say that Pearson's my only mentor.
Yeah.
Like I never really
Yeah.
no one really ever goes out of their way to like teach me shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's out of a sort of common love for photography. And I think he saw something in what I was shooting that he wasn't seeing in a lot of young photographers. This is when I started doing the painted series, is like right when he reached out to me. So I was attempting
Yeah.
like a
You're
concept.
trying to make art. Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't know, I guess he just saw something and potential, wanted to groom that. And I've been able to teach him a decent amount, at least in like the social media space, because he comes from a different time period. When he did he called it the dirty side of glamour. He shot a lot of like raunchy, sort of
Brains.
like
Brains, blood. You
Wait,
know.
I mean,
what?
he did some some stuff with big name celebrities. They love shooting with Tyler, and yeah,
It's a big thing for celebrities because, like, so often in the film world, we get trapped in being pretty.
yeah,
And so the opportunity to be
Right.
disgusting and be de-glamorized for a second and be edgy
Yep.
is sought after.
and he offers that.
He offers it in a big way.
Yeah.
In a,
Have you ever
in a
shot with him?
classy way. No, I actually haven't shot with Tyler. No.
You should make that happen.
That's dope. I'm game. Let's do it.
Sorry, I thought you guys were having a little moment.
We had a little bromance just now.
Well, I mean, we should shoot something too.
Yeah,
like I got
okay.
ideas, man.
Yeah, you
Let's
should link
go.
with him. He just booked a movie with Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson called The Man from Toronto.
Hey, plug for your boy.
Insane, dude.
What do you
stoked.
look for inspiration? I know Pearson, he watches a lot of movies. That's
Yeah.
his field. I listen to a lot of music and watch a lot of YouTube. What is it that you look to for inspo?
Yeah, I take inspiration from movies for sure. Music sometimes, lyrics sort of translate into photos in my head sometimes.
Yeah.
Movie lines,
Yeah.
literature, some classic like lines from Gatsby or Any of those classic novels that sort of turn into photos in my head. I chose Gatsby right now just because I actually shot a photo more recently that had to do with this line talking about how Daisy's voice is full of money.
Daisy Keach's voice, by the way.
Daisy Keach's voice. Daisy Buchanan from Gatsby. And I put like a roll of $100 bills in this girl's mouth.
Yeah. Were they real hundreds?
The first one was.
Hope you sprayed that with some disinfectant.
How has COVID?
It was before coronavirus.
Oh, before the COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How has that affected your world of work? Coronavirus.
It's been weird.
Yeah.
I went a while not knowing what to do with myself. I started taking self-portraits because I have a studio set up.
Were you naked in a
my
mirror by
place.
chance?
Half naked.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I actually like painted stuff on myself.
Actually?
Yeah.
That's dope. Did you do it so it would reflect properly in the mirror, or
I had to do it backwards in the mirror.
that's wild. How long did that take?
Not that long.
Really? I'm so terrible at that. Go on.
Yeah. But I started doing the self-portraits, and then I started actually teaching photography lessons through Facetime and Instagram video calling, and just offering that to sort of supplement income that wasn't happening.
How did you feel about the whole FaceTime photography movement going on, where a lot of people said it devalued photographers because now all of a sudden you don't even need a photographer. You can just fucking set up your camera on FaceTime, and then all of a sudden
here's the thing. You don't need those photographers.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like every single photographer that did a FaceTime photo shoot proved exactly how useless they are. I think that's all I got out of that.
What is a FaceTime photo? I have not heard of
The
this.
during
FaceTime
COVID.
photo shoot is you FaceTiming a girl in her apartment, her putting on some like lingerie, sitting on her bed, and then you pressing a button and taking a screenshot of her laying there. It's like
Feels
it's
like
the creepy
weird porn.
dude. It's voyeurism. It's closer to voyeurism than it is
What's
to photography.
voyeurism? Can I get a definition on voyeurism?
It's essentially you're watching from the outside as
Yeah.
the world happens before you, but they don't know that.
So the
you're
Truman
watching.
Show.
Yeah, it's the Truman
Yeah.
Show. That is
Which
fine.
is a great movie.
Like
the One Man Show.
The Woman
Yeah.
Show. Which is the name of this podcast. Dude, after I watched The Truman Show, I wanted to name this. Dude, I loved The Truman Show.
Yeah.
That's why the podcast was called The Truman Show.
The Truman Show. Are you a voyeur of
Oh.
sorts?
Do I like watching the world from the outside?
Mm-hmm.
No, I like living.
Like living in it
Yeah.
and being watched?
Yeah, I like being watched.
That's dope. Cut to we have a bunch of fans outside the house.
You know what was crazy? Oh, I wrote this down. Did your Instagram or YouTube get hacked?
Yeah, my YouTube did. It was weird.
It was gone for forever, but I saw you just got it back, right?
Yeah.
What happened? How'd that happen?
Somebody got into my Gmail somehow, and it was logged into my YouTube account, and whoever it was, dude, they started posting like Ethereum, like Bitcoin, like all of these like live streams of people talking, and they started trying to take people's money. They were like,
oh, fuck.
send,
You couldn't get it back?
YouTube is the slowest company on the planet, dude. They
Let's
don't.
not talk ill of YouTube because they already don't fucking help me out.
They
All hail-
don't. They
all
don't
hail
care.
YouTube.
I've made 500 videos and I've had one on the trending page. But Emma Chamberlain, every video she posts is #1 fucking trending. Same with shots.
Yeah,
Do you
man.
want to talk about it, bro?
Oh, I'm not hurt at all.
Yeah.
Every Charlie D'Amelio video is #1
fuck.
trending. Every TikToker #1 trending.
Duh.
Tell me that there's no ins at YouTube with those people.
God
Do you
damn
want?
it.
Do you want to talk about TikTokers? Because I have problems with TikTok photography.
Go on.
It's a
What, the guys that go up to people and show their TikTok account and take a photo of them?
Hey, I'd like to take a
Dude,
photo
the-
of you. You look beautiful.
TikTok photography is a disease
Here,
that needs to be
I have
eradicated.
8 million TikTok followers.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Did that change your mind?
Yeah.
Crazy.
My photos are trash, but here's my TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if you have to show somebody your TikTok to prove how good of a photographer you are, you should
But
reconsider
dude,
your
this
career.
is just a recycling of literally what has happened to creativity as a whole, right?
Yeah.
So the whole YouTube, Instagram, TikTok has made people, like I said, want to consume content all the time
Yep.
for free. And they don't care how good or bad it is. All they
Yeah.
care about is the drama, the clicks. And it sucks because you can have a movie come out once a year with Tom Cruise in it.
Yep.
And you fucking love Tom Cruise.
Mhm.
He makes one movie a year, maybe one movie every 2 years even, but he's fucking Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
But Mark Dohner, he makes Brennan North, they make 500 videos and it's just not even comparable.
Yeah.
It's because it's been given out so frequently and so often, people take it for granted and they just expect it to continue.
And it's not even like, for me, I don't create that much. I can't possibly create that many concepts in my head to turn into photographs. It's just impossible, at least at a certain level.
To make it good.
I could take a photo of somebody's face every single day and post it on Instagram. Nobody would give a shit about my photos.
Right.
It would get boring, repetitive, and that's the problem that a lot of these kids have when they're starting photography. They think, I need to post every single day. I need to post with, you know, the most famous person possible. And eventually that's going to dry up. Yeah. You're going to get bored.
I mean,
and people are going to forget your photos.
I mean, you look at Bryant, like one of the most successful Instagram photographers. He has continuously gone after the hot topics.
Dude, eventually it's not going to be cute anymore, though. Like,
right.
Eventually you're going to be 45 shooting 15-year-olds that are doing some stupid dance on the internet.
Hey, what's wrong with TikTok dancing?
Pearson, how do you feel? I
haven't seen your TikTok dances. Maybe
no, we roast people on TikTok.
Oh, okay, all right.
We did a duet.
How do you feel about that? Like the comparison of like, why is it that the whole YouTube, you know, making videos for free, Instagram making videos for free, and then you have, you know, people can drop an album once a year, once every 3 years, and they love them. People can drop a movie once every year, and they still love them. Why do you think that is?
I mean, there's so much psychology that goes into that, but I think the big part of it is what you already explained, is that when you've trained your audiences for years, since the birth of YouTube and social media, that we want it now and we want it as a microwave audience. We're instant gratification.
Very short attention span.
Exactly. But film audiences have been trained over the last 100 years, and we've been trained to love a movie when it comes out. And also, to be fair, not to clap YouTubers, but there is a lot less work that goes into one YouTube video.
There's levels.
Yeah.
There's levels to this.
Yeah.
And there's also the factor of like anticipation in the movie world is such a big player. So people can talk about a movie that's coming out like for months. They get excited about it. The studios have budgets to keep pushing like new little clips.
Yeah.
And YouTubers just don't have that.
No.
Every time I put a photo out, I make like a big deal about it. I don't know if you ever like noticed that on my Instagram stories. I act like I'm putting out a full length movie whenever I release a new image or a new big concept that I'm proud of. And I think that drums up a lot of anticipation. People start thinking of my images differently. They think, okay, this is a next level image that, you know, this photographer is going to put out. Other photographers don't act like this. They don't talk about their photos in this way.
They put a tap
so there must be
over the face. On their Instagram
I've
story.
never done that. What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
How do you go about like hyping that up for yourself though? Because there's a lot of self promotion that you have to do. What's your strategy?
Yeah, you got to be your own biggest hype man. I prioritize capturing like behind the scenes content. So I always have, especially for these bigger production shoots where I have multiple models, I'll have somebody there dedicated to making a behind the scenes video. Really high quality. I have like 3 guys that make absolutely incredible behind the scenes videos for me, and I'm very lucky to have them. And that adds a lot to it. I always show like the negatives of my film. I'm like previewing it like before you can see what it actually looks like. And then I'll print one out, show that off. Just all this, you know, all the anticipation, all the extra content around the one photo that doesn't exist for other photographers.
I try to do the same with my music. You know, I don't release a lot of music, so I hype it up. I do like the BTS shit. One thing that I had to realize when I started making vlogs is I had to sacrifice a lot of quality for quantity.
That's the vlog game.
Which I didn't want to do. Because I first started off as 3 a week, and it was hard. And then I was like, fuck, dude, Logan's doing daily. Everybody else is doing daily. Then I went to 5 a week. Then I went to 7 a week.
I remember this Mark Dohner.
Yeah.
That Mark Dohner was not okay.
Yeah, it sucks.
And I don't think you were happy. Sometimes, dude, when I would hang out with you back when you were like trying to amp up the pace of your vlogs, that's like all you would talk about is like, we invented this shit. Like we're talking about like everything faster, quick cuts, no pauses. And I didn't know if you were losing it or like just ambitious.
That's all that my life consisted of.
Yeah.
And I still, to this day, there's still people that I know, I'm not going to name their names, that's all they talk about.
Yeah.
And I get it now from what you're saying. Like, cause I'm like, I cannot have a conversation with this person that doesn't involve how good his YouTube video did or bad, how many numbers it did on his this or that.
Yeah.
This one did worse. Why? I fucking hate YouTube, all this shit. It's like, dude, let's fucking talk about something other than our stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I've lost so many followers. I had to stop caring.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's been my most difficult thing, is like trying to reinvent myself with all of these TikTokers coming in and new young faces. Like, I'm old. Like, let's be honest, I'm fucking old, so I have to change.
You're like,
Such a
Isn't that fucked, bro? I'm 26 and I'm old.
The most ridiculous thing I've heard is you're 26. He's like, I'm old. That's it. I'm old. It's wild.
Well, you got
this is the
15-year-olds that are popping now.
Yeah, the
That's
generation
people
is moving quick. We want younger, better, quicker, faster, hotter. That's it.
You know what the weird thing that I've noticed about that is? The people that actually know what they're doing are the ones that have been around the longest, especially like in photography, maybe vlogging, videography, even music. They're the ones that we should be paying attention to. I have fewer eyes on my work right now, and I'm the best I've ever been.
Yeah.
You know, and the next photographer that's coming up right now is 16. He's got a film 35 millimeter, like point and shoot, and he's got 1 million followers. Everybody's obsessed with his work, but the kid has no idea what he's doing.
Right.
And you can't learn from people like that. And it's just this weird cycle that social media goes through, that we cycle through influencers and people before they even have a chance to like fully, come to fruition. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of sad. You know?
I mean, how long did it take for like Da Vinci and Michelangelo to become great?
Exactly.
Years.
Yeah.
And now we're just suddenly giving these kids platforms when they're like, I'm still trying to figure it out, man.
Exactly. Like, what if Da Vinci was hot when he was like, 16, early, and then everybody forgot about him after.
Right.
That's what constantly happens.
Like
there's no such thing anymore. You can't create a legacy.
It's tough. It's definitely
there's the few that might be able to break through. Yeah.
Right.
Do you find yourself
you can try
like chasing trends just to make sure that you follow and like keep relevancy? Or?
I hate photography trends.
Okay.
I hate photography trends with a passion. I mean, the FaceTime thing, I hated so much. The only things that I've put on TikTok are me making fun of TikTok photography trends.
Awesome.
Like,
why does that bother you so much?
I think it cheapens my art form.
Okay.
Because I treat this is my livelihood. This is like everything that I live for, like, is creating photographs, something that, will have an impact or maybe get remembered one day. And these people are out here acting like they invented, photography, and they're taking screenshots, and just,
Do you think there's a world where they can both live together and you can make something lasting out of something like that?
Out of a FaceTime photo? No, but I think there are ways to turn trends into next level images. Yeah. I don't know.
I think the FaceTime thing, it's just a sign of the times, It's like a lot of people that did. You could say the same thing about all the people that made music during quarantine, and then they filmed a music video on a Zoom call. You know what I'm saying? It's like they worked with what they could.
I get it. But
would you rather put out content or not put it out at all?
I understand. And here's the thing. There are better ways. If you take one single second to think, okay, I'm in quarantine. I'm not allowed to be with models. How do I go about being a photographer? And I sat there and I took the time to conceptualize, take the idea of not shooting with a model, a live model, to a different level. And what I came up with was this concept that I called almost human. And I bought these 3 mannequins, really like shiny, like porcelain mannequins, the coolest ones that I could find. And I shot with those. I put them by a pool, and then I brought them to the desert, and I painted them chrome, and I sat them in the desert, took photos of them there. It's my socially distanced photo concept. And I think, to me, like, that only took one extra step beyond the simple idea of taking a screenshot. There's something beyond, and I don't think people have the patience to take that extra step.
Why has landscape photography died? Why has all other photographies other than portrait died?
In terms of social media,
Yeah. Why do people not care?
people gravitate towards faces
Always. Yep.
always, and I don't think landscape photography is dead. I think it's actually a really popular art form for a lot of hobbyists, and there are some really wildly successful landscape photographers in the game right now. And eventually, you know, they'll take photos with a model involved, and that's the one that you see. But I know guys that are selling prints of landscape photos for crazy money. You just don't see it popping up on like the normal, you know, area of Instagram.
Right. What is your dream? When will Brendan North be at happiest?
I'm really happy right now. I mean, the dream is to elevate what I'm doing currently for the rest of my life. That's kind of why I've tried to make the transition into fine art photography, because like the social media world, I think, at least for a photographer, is very finite. There is an end.
It's like, how do you make money unless you're shooting like an event or something?
Exactly. You can only, you know, shoot Instagram models for so long before it drives you absolutely nuts. Or influencers, sorry. I mean, I'm shooting with Instagram models, but
well, you've made a business, and there's like photography in today's modern era is more of a service, you know?
Exactly.
You're making a tangible business. Like,
exactly. I don't want it to be
like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, photographers are services.
Yeah.
Right.
But when he makes
service.
his own work and sells it, that's not a service, is it? It's a consumer market.
I mean, yeah, you created your own market for it in general. Yeah. Which is smart. I mean, how many photographers do we know in LA that like they just have to constantly hustle out the free photos nonstop? It's almost impossible to get paid for photos out here.
Yeah.
Because
everybody else is doing it for free.
Exactly. Right. They devalue.
Yeah. And I think
to that, I always tell people when you're first starting shit, do it for free.
I say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep. You have to. I didn't ask any of you guys for money.
Right.
I've never asked a single influencer.
The work ethic needs to be there first in the drive.
Exactly.
Before you start. Like, you can't move out here from Ohio or Massachusetts and be like, hey, Mark, I'll shoot your photos for $500. I'll be like, kick rocks.
Literally.
Bro, I had a buddy that moved out from a different state, and he was like, yeah, I want to shoot YouTube videos with you. I was like, sweet, how much do you want to do it for? He was like, $2,000 a video. I was like, get out of here.
Wow.
I was like, bro, not a fucking chance.
Dude's got a price tag.
Yeah. And then cut 2, he's hitting me up like 3 months later and was like, bro, I'll shoot with you anytime. And I'm like,
yeah.
Welcome to LA now.
Yep.
You have to learn that you have to bring the value before you can start asking for money.
You have to prove your worth.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How's things been with you? All right, let's get off the photography talk.
Wait, hold on. I have one final question.
Okay.
What is the advice that you'd give to a younger photographer?
What stage are they at?
Whatever stage you think they'd be at.
I mean, just starting out, I think it's smart to take your camera with you to every single situation you can possibly be in and figure out what kind of photography you're actually happy shooting. I think so many young photographers pigeonhole themselves right away because they think I have to take low aperture portraits to be successful.
Yeah.
And some people aren't, you know, happy when they shoot that stuff. And I think, you know, being a jack of all trades photographer at the beginning is really smart. Figure out what you like shooting, figure out what makes you happy, and then run with that. Buy a cheap Canon camera, and because that doesn't matter, at least not until you're printing stuff.
Right.
What have you been doing in quarantine to like have fun? I want to share something from my personal life.
Yeah.
Pearson and I finally went out to our first ever public dinner.
Oh, how was that?
We went and
I
got
think
sushi.
I saw it on your Instagram story.
It
looked delicious.
Oh my God.
First time out since what? Fucking like January. It's like 5 months. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't weird that no one had masks on.
Was it
just
like separated? Like were you
they
guys?
had, no, they had the plexiglass dividers up in between each booth.
Yeah.
But there's
Are you
only
kidding?
like
Wow.
5 booths in the restaurant open.
But it was just, it was like, wow, this is a weird moment right now. I have not done a social thing. And we went to like a social gathering and it's like,
I still haven't done
how
that.
to talk to people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, I FaceTime with people when I can. That was a lot of so I was doing FaceTime classes during the the really heavy lockdown period. That's what I was spending my time doing. I was doing 3 or 4 hour long FaceTime calls with kids that wanted to learn photography from me every day for 2 months straight. It was incredible, but I didn't get into this to be that, you know?
Well, I mean, what do you do for fun? Like, my work is fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I actually love teaching photography. It's so funny because I got a lot of these kids coming to me with, you know, oh, I did this photographer's workshop. I did this photographer's workshop. And I would have to correct so many things that these young photographers that are trying to teach photography, like the TikTok guys, are teaching these kids because they're wrong.
What are they teaching?
Dude, some of them are charging crazy amounts of money for a course and they don't teach lighting because they don't know how to light things.
I mean, yeah, lighting's the hardest thing, the most important.
But like, if you're going to charge somebody $500 for a photography course, you should teach them lighting.
Yeah.
So I have to like go over stuff like that. Kids don't know how to shoot manual. They're just sitting on automatic because some of these big photographers are using a Contax G2 or T2, flipping that thing to automatic, taking a photo.
Takes it, yeah.
It's a film, but it's automatic.
Yeah.
And then you pick up a Hasselblad and it's like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do with this thing? Or even, you know, shooting manual on a Sony. You got to learn how to do that first.
Well, it's different for photos.
Yeah.
I have to shoot my vlogs on automatic because I can't keep changing the lighting, you know.
That's
when I
impossible.
was filming with Logan, I would shoot it manual.
And, that's
just flipping the ISO.
You shot on manual?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because the camera would mess up a lot.
It depends, yeah.
Like if he ran out of the house and I would have to chase him, we'd go from dark to insanely light.
Mm-hmm.
The camera would either get stuck or overcompensate. Just wouldn't reshoot that. It wouldn't correct properly, and if I just have my thumb on the dial, I can do it quicker.
Oh, interesting.
What were you about to ask though? I thought you had like a personal.
Oh, what do you do for fun? Hobbies?
Oh. Yeah.
Smashing girls? You got a quarantine smash buddy?
Yeah. Let's hear about that.
No, that is non-existent. It's been a while, man.
So Pamela Henderson has been your best friend.
Yeah. Yep.
If anybody cares, I smashed this weekend.
Hold up.
Yo.
We had a party.
Yep. Oh, we did have a party.
So how many people were at that party?
400 to 500.
4 to 500.
Wow.
I would say like what, 10 to 15.
Yeah, somewhere in that
Yo,
range.
one of your best friends, I'm gonna take the credit there.
Yeah.
I introduced you to Adelia.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So Brendan North actually introduced Adelia. So you changed Adelia's life.
Welcome.
Hey, I mean, what little things, yeah.
No, it's funny because I moved to Koreatown, and then you came through, and we were like chilling.
And you were like,
some
invite girls.
He's like, oh, I know
I was
these
like,
two
oh, I know
twins
these
that live in Koreatown.
Mark's like, hell yeah, twins.
What are the chances?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, have them come through. And then you invited Adelia and her sister Lyra. Lyra didn't come.
She was in bed. She wouldn't get out.
Yeah. Lyra didn't come. Adelia showed up. Thought I was a mega douche because I was wearing a wife beater. Are they called wife beaters or white beaters? I always wife beaters, right?
Yeah, because usually wife beaters wear wife beaters.
Yeah.
No offense. That's just a logical transition in my brain.
But yeah, that's actually Brandon North takes the credit for that.
You guys are just friends, yeah?
Yeah. No
Well,
one believes it.
I mean, one time.
We hooked up one time.
You guys smushed.
One time.
I knew it.
But
that was a year ago, bro.
Yeah.
And we've just been friends.
No smashing since.
Yeah, I've talked about this story 100 times. We hooked up and then I ghosted
Adelia?
Yeah.
Wow.
For
nice.
For a solid couple months.
Yeah.
And then I apologized. And then we started hanging as friends. And
and now she's
I ghosted her for a
making
little while
vlogs
too. And then that night that I hit her up to
that was the first
That was like the first time in like a few months.
So I wasn't the only one to ghost Adelia.
Oh.
Why'd you ghost Adelia?
I mean, we had a little thing for a little while.
Oh,
Wait,
shit,
do we have
Adelia!
Eskimo brothers in
Oh,
here?
man.
Wait, come on. You guys both hooked up? This is
No,
nice.
but that I don't remember why though.
Why you guys stopped hanging out?
Yeah.
Should we have? Is Adelia here? Adelia. Oh,
Is she editing?
she stormed out earlier. I don't know. She was like, "I'll be back," but she seemed mad.
Probably because she had the Eskimo bros in here.
Yeah. She's like, I said, "Oh, Brandon North's coming," and she's like, "Yeah, I'll be back later."
Okay.
She's like, oh, dude, I got to get out of here real quick.
No, I don't know where she went. Maybe we should shoot her a text. To be honest, I didn't think of that earlier.
Hold
Yeah,
for.
I brought you a gift, by the way.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I got something for you. This is the
Dude.
original Mark Dohner
Whoa.
Yeah, look at
That's
this.
some
merch.
That's some AC/DC vibes right there. Look at that.
This is OG Mark Dohner merch. I used to say deuces at the end of all my vlogs.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, that's crazy you have this because I don't remember this. I remember it, but
Yeah.
I honestly thought for a second when you gave me this, I was like, did I ever release this?
I remember taking photos of you and Logan wearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, that was when Logan had his mustache.
Yeah,
you remember
and I
that?
blurred it out and he got pissed at me.
Yeah,
Wait, why'd
you
you blur
blurred
out the
out his
mustache?
mustache
Because he had a fucking mustache, bro.
Oh, you blurred it out in the photography?
in the photo.
Oh, I
yeah.
taking
thought
photos.
It was
a
for
vlog.
his.
I was
it was
like,
for
bro.
his merch.
Yeah, we were taking.
Oh.
I
And
didn't
he
want
thought-
Logan with a mustache.
thought
He was
the
growing it out for this song he was doing.
Uh-huh.
And
Wow, I forgot about that song.
yeah,
What
and
song?
he looked like a dumbass with his stupid ass mustache. So I didn't want him to look like a dumbass in my clothes. So I photoshopped over it, and he got pissed at me.
Really?
Yeah,
He
That's
was proud of
funny.
that stash.
it's still to this day it looks trash.
You heard it here first, folks. Logan, if you're watching this, don't grow that mustache out.
Mustaches never look good. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, no.
I'm going to be honest. There's some people that, like Tom Selleck, that man grows a mustache. I have so much respect for him.
Uh-huh.
You know, you just look at that and you're like, that commands respect in a room. He's probably got food still in there from 1986. Smells delicious, and he
I
probably
don't even know who that
fucking-
is.
Top, what fucking
Pearson,
Magnum
talk to me.
PI?
What happened this week? What'd you do?
I mean, I clapped cheeks. Got my cheeks
heard.
clapped.
Everybody but me, man.
Oh, sorry, bro.
It's okay. I got some mannequins at my place.
Oh, dude, oh, that's great. Oh, so that's who's been occupying your time.
Yeah.
His
I actually don't know what to do with them. They're just in
He's
my
like, why
apartment.
won't any girl hook up with me? He walks in the door. There's 3 mannequins there.
Yeah.
I
They all
wonder
have wigs
why.
on,
Yeah.
and he's talking to them the entire time as if they're real people.
Uh-huh.
He's like, yeah, sorry, sweetheart. What'd you say?
How do you like living alone?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I think living alone for me gives me so much time to actually come up with the photo concepts.
Mm-hmm.
If I lived with somebody or multiple people, at least at Logan's house, it was madness 24/7. There was always people in and out, and you never had time to sit
Chill.
down and just chill and think.
Yeah.
I love living alone. I don't think I can go back unless it was a situation like you guys have. This is a big house for 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Well, we do have a lot of people coming in and out, and I think that's
Yeah.
the one thing that's tough. Is
But it is up to just you 2,
Mhm.
Versus,
5.
yeah.
Yeah, because then you have to deal with 5 groups of friends.
Exactly.
And
At all
everybody's
times.
emotions. Somebody's always down or somebody's always way too up.
And somebody's always fucking.
Yeah, literally.
You gotta deal with that,
That's the
bro.
same way here.
Right.
I mean, not me.
High frequency.
Pearson's a much higher frequency than me.
I got to do what I can.
I'm
I got
once-
to keep the numbers high in the house.
I'm like a once a year type guy.
Yeah. But no, I think it's interesting that you have that time to yourself and you have a lot of time to reflect, because I think a lot of times as artists, you do need the time away from people.
Dude, it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
The lonely artist is it's a real thing.
Mhm.
It's a real thing.
The sad boy.
Yeah. A little bit.
You got anything else? You got anything else?
No, I mean, Joe Rogan got clapped online.
What do you do?
He laughed at a joke that I think Joey Diaz said about having chicks blow him before he went on stage, which was crazy.
Wait, he laughed at a joke and he got clapped?
Yeah, people are like,
Everybody's getting canceled, man.
yeah, it's interesting. Joe, I think retweeted some video of it, and he hasn't really mentioned it online yet. But it's very interesting because this is from 10 years ago, and clearly he's changed a lot. He also used to believe in aliens, He still does.
Does he not believe
No,
in
he still
aliens? I
believes in
thought that
aliens,
was like
but,
one of
like,
his big things.
Very big conspiracy theorist down
Yeah.
to like the fucking lizard people living underground. And now he's.
I watched that Alex
drastically,
Jones episode.
Right. Insane. But it's interesting. I want to see people be a little bit more forgiving of like learning how to adjust over time. And like, would you say that you're the same person you were 10 years ago?
No.
Even a year ago?
10 years ago, I was in high school
Yeah.
thinking that I was going to be a professional soccer player. So here we are.
Same
Look
thing.
how that turned
Yeah,
out.
bro.
I got you there. But what about even like 6 months ago? I would argue that I'm not even the same person I was 6 months ago. I had the same visions.
Corona
Right.
changes people, man.
Corona changed a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Living alone even changes people, bro.
Yeah.
Like it makes you a different
100%.
person. Also, a lot of people forget that Joe Rogan, wasn't he a comedian?
Yeah, that's
Like a
what they
stand-up
do. Like so
comic?
is Joey
Yeah.
Diaz. That was
Like watch Bill Burr's stand up.
Yeah.
He makes jokes that you couldn't fucking say.
Yeah.
But see, a whole crowd's laughing at him.
Same with Dave Chappelle.
Same with Dave Chappelle. Like
Same with Amy Schumer.
There's
or
a pass
any
for
of
them,
them.
though.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
comedians are tough because
they get
they
a
do
pass.
it. They do everything in
Yeah.
jest. You
Yeah.
know, it's all in humor.
They're
I
trying
think,
to
dude,
get a rise.
I love that type of comedy when you can make fun of situations that like are touchy subjects.
Yeah.
Like make people laugh, bro. Like everything doesn't always need to be so serious.
Bro, the first thing
true.
I want to do when something bad happens to me is I want to laugh at it
Mm-hmm.
because I need to be able to process it emotionally, and then I want to be like, all right, this doesn't have any more power over me.
Right.
Cool. Let's move on.
Like
and
how
laugh
many
at
people are gonna make COVID-19 jokes in their stand-up comedy when COVID's gone?
it. All of them.
You know what I'm
All
saying?
of
But it's
them.
such a serious thing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, I don't know. Time and place, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
Thanks for the,
It was
bringing the
fun.
shirt and bringing up the nostalgia.
Yeah, of course.
Pearson, how'd it feel being over there?
Honestly, I really enjoyed it. It was kind of fun just to like watch the conversation and see what you guys had to talk about.
Do you feel like an audience member?
a little bit, but not really. Like an audience member that, you know,
Had
can
input.
Contributes.
and like
yeah.
Yeah.
get to ask the questions that I want to ask, because you guys clearly know each other well, and it's
Yeah.
fascinating to watch that.
And you guys can type in on the comments and do exactly what Pearson did this vlog.
Vlog podcast.
Comment your thoughts down below on TikTok photographers and photo shoot FaceTimes. And
Is Brendan North your
I'm gonna look
favorite
so
TikTok
bitter.
photographer?
and we'll see you guys next week on a brand new episode of A One Man Show.
Deuces.
There you go.
We could